You ever danced on the edge of sanity? Tumbled down into the abyss where light's just a memory? No, you wouldn't understand. But let me tell you something real, something raw. Life ain't a bed of roses, kid. It's more like a bed of thorns, and those thorns cut deep. I know it all too well. The world kicked me down, laughed in my face, and left me bleeding. But you know what? I got back up. Alone. And if you're lucky, you'll learn to do the same. Now sit tight, 'cause I'm about to take you on a ride through my chaos. You ever look around, man, and feel like the world's just a giant joke? A cruel, twisted joke that everyone's in on except you? I mean, come on, life's a circus, and we're all the clowns, right? But hey, some of us, we're not just any clowns. We're the ones who get kicked, who get spat on, who get laughed at. And I'll tell you something, kid. I've been there. I've been the joke. But you know what? I turned it around. I did it alone. Let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we? Picture this. A young boy, lost, abandoned. Everyone said I was worthless, just another piece of trash. I was a nobody, man. Not even a footnote in the story of my own life. People treated me like dirt. I was that kid who sat in the back of the class, the one with the torn clothes, the empty lunchbox. No one cared. And you know what? That's where it starts. When no one gives a damn about you, you learn to stop giving a damn about them. But here's the twist, the kicker. You get pushed down enough. You start to like the dirt. It becomes your friend. You realize the more they push you down, the stronger you get. You get up, and you get up, and you get up. Until one day, you're not just standing, you're towering over them. I looked in the mirror one day and saw it. I saw the joke. I was laughing, but it wasn't funny. It was the laughter of a man who'd been broken too many times to count, but still got up every single time. You see, pain's a funny thing. It's like a chisel carving out who you really are. Every scar, every wound, it shapes you, molds you into something else. Something harder, tougher, meaner. I took all that pain, all that rage, and I turned it into power. I did it alone, man. Alone. And let's not kid ourselves. People say they want to help, but they don't. They just want to feel better about themselves. They want to pat you on the back and say, "Good job." But when it comes down to it, when you're in the gutter, they're nowhere to be found. So, you got to learn to rely on yourself. Trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's just you against the world. And the world doesn't play fair. I remember the nights, the cold, dark nights, where I had nothing but the sound of my own heartbeat to keep me company. The nights where I wondered if it was all worth it. But that's when you find out what you're made of, when there's no one else around, and it's just you and your thoughts. That's when you dig deep, real deep, and pull out whatever you got left. And you keep going. You keep pushing, because there's no other option. There's no cavalry coming, no hero to save the day. You are the hero. You are the villain. You are everything. I did it alone, and you can too. But here's the catch. When you start to rise, when you start to climb out of that hole, people are going to try and pull you back down. They can't stand to see someone make it out. It reminds them of their own failures. So they'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll do whatever it takes to keep you down. That's when you gotta be ruthless. You gotta be fierce. You gotta be the Joker. Laugh in their faces. Show them that nothing they do can break you. You've already been broken. You've already seen the worst. What more can they do to you? I did it alone, man. and it's a lonely road, no doubt. But it's a road worth taking. Because when you make it, when you finally stand on top, you'll know it wasn't because of anyone else. It wasn't because someone handed you a break. It was because you clawed your way out. You fought for every inch. And that, my friend, is something no one can take away from you. So, you feeling sorry for yourself? Feeling like the world's against you? Good. Use that. Harness that pain, that anger. Let it fuel you. Let it drive you to places you never thought you could go. And when you get there, remember one thing. You did it alone. You. No one else. They say the night is darkest just before the dawn. But you know what I say? I say embrace the darkness. Let it become a part of you. Because in the end, it's not the light that makes you strong. It's the darkness. It's the struggle. It's the fight. I did it alone, and you can too. You just gotta want it bad enough. You gotta be willing to go to places others won't, to do things others can't. And when you do, you'll find out something amazing. You'll find out that you're not just a survivor. You're a warrior, a legend, someone who did it alone. You see, kid, there's a moment in everyone's life when they hit rock bottom. That moment when you feel like there's no way out, no escape from the misery. For me, it was the night I lost everything. The night I realized that the only person who ever had my back was me. I was on the streets, cold, hungry, and alone. But it was in that darkness that I found my strength. I found a fire inside me that refused to be extinguished. I made a promise to myself that night. I promised that I would rise above, no matter what it took, and I did. I climbed out of that pit, not because anyone helped me, but because I refused to stay down. You gotta understand, life is a battleground. It's not a place for the weak or the timid. It's for the fighters, the survivors. Every day, you wake up and face a new set of challenges. Some days, it feels like the whole world is against you. And maybe it is. But you can't let that stop you. You have to dig deep, find that inner strength, and keep pushing forward. Because if you don't, if you give in to the darkness, then you've already lost. I made the choice to fight, to claw my way to the top, and I did it alone, and that made all the difference. Now don't get me wrong, the scars, the pain, they don't just go away. They stay with you, haunting you, reminding you of every battle you've fought, every tear you've shed. But those scars are also a testament to your resilience, your will to survive. They're a part of you, and they make you stronger. So wear them with pride. Let them be a reminder of how far you've come, of what you've overcome. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you'll see not just the person you are, but the warrior you've become. You did it alone, and there's no greater victory than that. So, what's it gonna be? You gonna keep crying about how hard life is? Or you gonna get up, dust yourself off, and start fighting back? Because let me tell you something, kid. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing, but you owe it to yourself to try, to fight, to win. I did it alone, and you can too.